Hi, my name is Simon. I'm fixing up this $1 boat to sail around the world, and in the last couple episodes, I have been rebuilding a new engine for my boat. Now, this involves a lot of work on the engine, but also some work on the engine room. And in this episode, we're going to be prepping the engine room for the install of my new engine. That means there's going to be a lot of sanding, fairing, and painting in this episode. So buckle up, here we go. We're getting into the sanding extravaganza. Now, for counting, this will be Perihelion's third engine. She was launched with a 4-cylinder and she got upgraded to a Volvo TMD40, which I took out after it was seized, and now we're putting in a Nissan SD33. It's another 6-cylinder, but it doesn't quite sit in the exact same locations, meaning I have to clean up some modifications that were made to these engine beds. Now, like the transmission beds I built last week, I am rebedding this section of engine bed with some sapele, some fiberglass, and some epoxy. This hole in the bottom of the bilge is actually where my bilge pump sits. It's a really nice feature of this boat that it has one deepest little section and everything else stays dry, and only this little tiny hole ever really has water in it. Now I'm going through multiple fairing sessions, not only because it looks good, but also because it'll be easier to keep the engine bed clean. Now, without the notches and nicks and other little grooves for the dirt to collect in, I should be able to spray this place down and keep it clean. And you got to remember, there's going to be a 700-pound engine here. So it's going to be harder and harder in the future to get at all of these nooks and crannies. So whatever I can do now will make my job a lot easier. That also means that there's never going to be a better scenario for me to clean this thing up, put some new glass in it, fair it out, and paint and prime it. Part of my entire decision making with this new engine has been thinking about my future self. Now, the engine I selected was the cheapest amongst 60 engines that I compared in terms of power, efficiency, but also especially the spare parts. Now, this engine, I can get full rebuild kits for about $1,000, and I can rebuild the entire engine with sleeves right in this engine bay. I don't have to take it to a machine shop at all. And in that spirit, I'm going to make sure that the engine well is nice and clean and smooth, because I might be lying in it in about 20 years' time rebuilding this engine. Now that we have solar and the electrical's all cleaned up, we're that much closer to moving back out into the mooring field. Now, I still don't have an engine in this boat just yet, so I gotta tow her out soon. And before I leave the dock, which is tomorrow, I thought I would address some of the other lingering issues for this boat as a home. One of them is water capacity. Now, I have 3 giant water tanks. I've got one stainless one under this settee, one stainless one under Honey's settee over here, and then I have the lowest stainless one down here. But the problem is, they're all connected just fine, but as I fill them from the starboard side, I get all the excess. Once it fills this tank, it leaks right out. Not even filled. About halfway up this tank, it starts leaking out. So the only real capacity I have is what I can store in that tank and then shut the valve, and half of this tank. It's not a lot of capacity. It only lasts me, actually, it lasts me pretty long. Even that still gets me 3 weeks or sometimes even more. So we're gonna try and button this up, get rid of some of these lingering old tubes that are still down here, put in some new tubing, put in a new fill point on the port side of the boat, and then that way I'll have all the tanks fully connected and vented, and I can fill every tank up completely, and that, by my calculations, should last me 6 to 8 weeks, which would be amazing. %of boat work is trying to fit a 10-pound pile of crap into a 5-pound bag. Coupled with this is the exercise regimen known as boat yoga, where you're trying to shove your body into uncomfortable, tight little crevices just to fetch a tube, a line, or a wire. Here, I'm going to pull it from... Right. Oh, look at that! We're only like 9 inches off. Yeah. Oh, with hose to spare.
Put some hose clamps on that hoser.
Yeah, Okay. I have a really bad tendency of not finishing projects, getting 90% there, and then just not wrapping up that last little bit. So I need to be pushed sometimes just to get those last few things in there, and it really improves my quality of life and helps me keep going on this project. Okay, well, it's not a lot, but simple systems like that, things I've been putting off for a while, makes a huge difference. Waiting on the last couple parts for the engine, I figured, you know what, let's scratch a few of these off the list. We'll start our life on a mooring ball again. It's been a nice winter, kind of flying under the radar at the dock and being warm and toasty despite my systems not being totally done, but I'm very grateful for the quiet winter that I had. And yeah, the boat is so much better than it was this time last year. So much better. And one of the other things I wanted to take was get my generator up onto the boat. And so, being that I'm here by myself, the only way I had to do that was with this boom. And I've never lifted anything with the boom yet. There's so much room for improvement. I got it up there and I didn't film it, and that's on me. But this is how the boom was set up before. So you have your main sheet here, and then you have a secondary haul down sheet that uses all the leverage of the main sheet in addition to another 4 pulleys and a block here and a lock here. So you're able to just haul that cable down with an incredible amount. I think it's 8-to-1 or something with all of these pulleys. It's great. The problem is with this setup is that you're hauling down this pulley, and once it gets to here, you've basically run out of space. So in order to lift something up to the deck, I have to set the boom on a pretty obtuse angle, and that's all right. It turns out, of course, that the obtuse angle I set it to was, pretty much just barely tall enough. I thought, like, this is crazy. It's so high up. Nope, it's just barely tall enough. But that topping lift wire is definitely worse for wear. It was a little dodgy lifting it with that wire. I need to go and get that one replaced, get all the topping wires and all the halyards replaced. And I noticed last time I was at the top of the mast, the topping lift is going through a really, really wimpy little Harken block. But my rationale was, if it failed, it would fall onto the aluminum pulley that's right there. That's quite a lot stronger. So, it would drop about half an inch or maybe a full 2 inches or something, and then stop. And it would be violent and scary, but no one would die, hopefully. Anyway, that, and this is definitely not lift approved. That was a bad idea. Shouldn't have done that. That's 100% on me. An integral part of fixing a $1 boat is having that hope. And part of that hope is enjoying the process. Now I have to enjoy wearing this respirator and sanding all of this fairing compound. It isn't naturally an enjoyable experience, but I'm really loving the detail work, and I find it very rewarding to have a nice, clean engine bed to look at afterwards. Over the last few years, I've really developed a lot more patience, especially with myself. And I think that that's super important in a captain, to be patient and to listen and to be confident, right? Not just ego, but confidence. And part of that, I think, is just the absolute bone aching work that goes into every single day of this, and having to get up day after day to the same type of slog with fiberglass dust all in my skin, and just do it over and over again and enjoy it, and then work it in such a way that I can enjoy it, that I don't burn out, and that I can keep going, it's a real skill.
I hope this is worth it.
And it's not one that I was born with. It's one that I've had to develop over the last few years, and I'm very proud of how far I've gotten. There's still no engine in my boat, but I haven't given up, and I think that that is the most important bit. Of course, it really helps that I am building my own little inner sanctum. This engine room is really a room. It's going to be the workshop of my boat, and I am building out my dream little workshop. And I'm very excited for the day that I get to have my coffee in the morning, come into my engine room, and dink around with a little dumb project that I'm working on. Hopefully, something with a lot less fiberglass.
Well, it's been a dusty week, and between all my other jobs to pay for all of this, I managed to get myself a fairly clean little bilge. Pretty excited about this. Still have to put real paint on it. Still have a couple of little repairs to do, and I gotta fix the stuffing box because it's still leaking a bunch. But yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. Pretty happy. One of the biggest reasons this has all been taking so long is that parts take a while to show up here. I'm on an island on the west coast of Canada, and there is no 2-day shipping out here, or 1-day shipping, or same-day delivery. That doesn't exist out here. It is usually a week or more. And yeah, it is what it is. But try to make my orders and plan ahead and get everything ready. And God knows the boat's got enough work to keep me busy. So we'll do that. We'll get this engine in soon, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week.